forums. I'm going to show you a few things today about Scrivener that I think end up giving Scrivener a bad rap for people who've never used an application like it, and can make it a little intimidating when you see the actual application in effect, especially when it's right out of the box. So I'm going to open Scrivener. And this is the usual view that people see of Scrivener, except of course for the colors in the backgrounds. When they're looking at Scrivener right out of the box, or when they're looking at pictures of the Scrivener interface online. And you hear a lot of comments that, oh, the graphic interface is a mess, there's too much crap all over the place. When it comes right out of the box, this is kind of what it looks like. One very important thing to keep in mind with Scrivener is that it is the kind of application that is intended for you to modify and make it work best for your writing process, for how you write. So, an important thing to know is that this application, different to many other applications, the way you see it now is not the way it has to be. It's not the way it has to be at all. You can make it be however you want it to be, as minimal or as maximum as you like. You often see pictures like this of it online because the person who's showing you the picture is trying to show you as many different options as they can in one picture. So they've clicked everything that's possible to click to the on position on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, with all this stuff pulled away, things that you don't have to look at and never have to look at again if they aren't things that you're going to use, so that you can see how else Scrivener can look and how it can work for you. One of the things, the first things that you want to look at is this thing over here, which is called the inspector. This is pretty important for those who do a lot of research, who have a lot of notes to take, people who are doing nonfiction writing. This is where you would put that kind of information. It's not stuff that I use because my writing is fiction writing, and I'm not that detailed of a planner. I kind of fall somewhere in the middle as far as planning and pantsing is concerned. So this isn't something that I really make use of. And the way to make this go away is to simply click the inspector button, and it's gone. The rest of the screen right now is showing you the fact that Scrivener can show a split view of different documents, or different views of multiple documents. Right now we're looking at one document up right here, which is scene number 4, as you can see it here from the binder. And then the other split is all the scenes that are inside of this folder called Deluxe Edition. To turn this off and to make it go away, and you don't have to turn it off again, it's just a one-time thing, come and you turn it to no split. Now that's left us with the Deluxe Edition, which is the folder in which these scenes are, and then you can go to the same scene that I originally had. And now you're seeing a much cleaner screen. Now some of you are saying, well, what about that thing over to the left? And that thing is called the binder. This is the organizational scheme that Scrivener uses, which is the key feature of Scrivener. And if you don't want to look at this, either if you just don't want it there while you're writing, or if you're a very linear writer, or you're just writing a short story and you just need to use a single document within the binder, you can make that go away as well by just clicking this button up here, show or hide the binder, and it's gone. Notice how clean the screen is becoming. Notice how much it's looking like any other word processor, like MS Word or like Pages for Mac users. Up top, you see the icons, which are the shortcuts for many of the different features that Scrivener has. What's really great about Scrivener is that this toolbar is changeable. You can edit this, you can put whatever buttons you like, remove the ones you don't like, and those changes are however you want them to be. And whatever you don't use, you don't have to look at again. And the way to do that is, this is the Mac version, of course. You would go to View, and you would go down to Customize Toolbar. And these are all the different icons that can be there. Now this looks a little intimidating. But for those of you who use MS Word, I would ask you to look at the toolbars, the multiple layers of toolbars up at top, and you'll see that it has many more buttons than this. And most of those don't have anything to do with the creation of a manuscript. All of these have to do with the creation of a manuscript. And again, these are all just shortcuts. All of these options are available through the drop-down menus that are always available at any time. You just choose the buttons that make sense for your writing process and leave them in your toolbar. If you don't want to look at that toolbar while you're writing, you don't have to either. You can actually make that go away. And now we have a very minimal kind of environment without even going into the full screen mode. And this is something that while you're working on the project, when you close this particular window, if you leave this project or leave Scrivener altogether, you don't have to do all those things that I just did to make it look like this. Again, which is different than other word processors. As soon as you leave Scrivener, you can quit the entire application. And I didn't save anything. You'll notice I just quit the application. And as soon as I go back into the application, it's going to go back to the same project that I was in. It always goes back to the project that you were last working on, and you'll notice that the screen format is exactly the same. So for those of you who have seen the pictures or have seen the product out of the box and you're thinking to yourself, there's just too much stuff on the screen, there's no way I want to deal with all of that, notice how my screen looks. Notice that you don't have to deal with all of that. You don't have to look at anything you don't want to look at any given time. And the great thing again about Scrivener is that it keeps it that way for you. In a follow-up video, I'm going to show you how to create these. Once you have a look that you really like and you want to keep it that way, for future projects, you can save that as a template, and then you can always go to that template and you can use it for any future projects, and you don't have to go through all this setup. You don't have to go through changing the fonts or the colors or the backgrounds or anything like that. You can keep it that way, and you can always have it there for you in the future. This was Rabies. Have a great day.